especially we are using this term single-use plastic. Why we call as a single-use plastic, and how do we define as single-use plastic and their alternatives and future perspectives will be detailed in this session. Okay, so if we look at the material is, we can say stone is, metal is, and this is a polymer is, we can say, because most of the plastic, adhesive, rubbers, advanced material like aerospace, mechanical, automotive and all, they are exactly coming from uh, petroleum resources. So if you see, most of the material occupied nowadays are plastics only. So we start a day with the brush, and that is made up of plastic, and we end our day on the bed that is made up of polyester and polyurethane foams and other foams. So we cannot avoid plastics in our day-to-day life, because plastics are the important class of material that has several applications. So one website, it is known as lifewithoutplastic.com. So in this also they have mentioned lifewithoutplastic.com, but in this also the lids are made up of plastics. So it shows that we cannot avoid the plastics. So where these plastics are used in several sections, like for food packaging, normal packaging application, automotive, aerospace, and several other applications. So plastics means not only carry bags, we are using plastic everywhere, and the keyboards, everything are made up of plastics on LED, LCD type, all are made up of plastics. And if we look at this sector wise plastic material, so we are using for building, electronics, electrical waste is also very important, and machinery and consumer, textile industry also we are using plastic. Most of the polyethylene terephthalate, and packaging. Packaging maybe either it may be food packaging, or we are using electronics material delivering with this packaging materials. So if we see this one chart, it will give like complete idea about the sector wise plastic application. So if you are using sector wise application, and the demand generation of waste from this material also will be very high. So why we use plastics? Because plastics are very cheap raw material. It is sourcing from petroleum, and also plastics can be easily molded into any shape. So if you want to make this kind of shape, you can easily make it. And the boats we are making using epoxy composite material, plastic boards we are making, that is we can make in that shape easily. So if you look at all these things, so we can see packaging applications, these polymers are used widely. And so I am working on food packaging, so that's why I would like to stress, because majority of the students, you can remind what is food packaging. So generally we use packaging sector, almost 40 to 50% of plastic used for food packaging application. We are using for chocolate wraps, we are using for water bottles, we are using for fruit juices, we are using Tetra Pak fruity juice, and we are using metallized containers for biryani packaging, and we are also using for oil packaging. So majority of this packaging material, the waste generation is coming from food packaging especially. So why we use packaging material? So we need as urbanization increasing, we need food, because we are not going to daily to go and get the food from the farm. Where we are buying? We are buying from the retail shops, right? So from retail shops, if you want to buy it, how we can get a fresh food? Recently, many are thinking of making fresh food even in the packaging material. So how can we get that material? So we are covering with your food with using a packaging material. So in there, what will happen? The packaging material protect your food from the external environmental conditions. There are microorganism, bacteria, fungus, and temperature, mechanical force. So you have packed laddu in a packaging material, and you want to use in the laddu form only, not in the bundi form, right? So the reason is there what we are trying to make the from the retailers from the exporting material from the production material to the consumer. So we are taking care of covering of your food packaging material using a packaging material, and it will help to distribute your food from the farm to the consumer. Okay, so why we need packaging material? As I already stated, we need to pack this one to avoid the external environmental condition to reduce the spoilage. So this packaging material, what it will do is, you have packed the fruit juice in fruity pack. So that fruity pack will be saved by the fruity packaging material. Okay, so it surrounds and it will protect from the contamination. What are the contaminants available? So various contaminants like microorganism, bacteria, fungus, everything contaminates. Okay, so to avoid that one, this packaging material will help, and it will protect. If it is protecting from the external environmental condition, we can preserve for long time. So drink water we are using even 1 year also in the bottle. Shelf life of that bottle is 1 year. So if packaging material is good enough, it will preserve for longer time. Of course, it is also a silent salesman, and it's very convenient and comfort to use for application. And anyhow, demand for packaging material is increasing. How they design the packaging material? They will take the strength of the packaging material, and water and oxygen should not go inside the packaging material. For example, we have oil packets. So oil packets are more prone to oxidative degradation. So if oil is reacting with the oxygen, then it will form the rancidity. There is a chance of carcinogenic. That's why the oil packet should not permeate the oxygen molecule inside the packaging material. So that barrier we will need for this packaging material. So I will skip the mechanical properties and all this one. So any food packaging material, this is generalized idea I am giving. We will go to the topic deeply. So any food packaging material, you are using fruity juice. In such cases, that fruity juice should not react with the fruity pack. Okay. So if it is reacting, then there is a chance of discoloration, alteration of degree of shine, softening, swelling, detachment of coating, blistering. These things will happen. So packaging material should be highly inert in nature. That is why majority of the packaging material are coming from plastics. Okay. So how we select the packaging material? We want to take tea glass, the paper tea glass. So as such paper we cannot make as a tea glass. The paper tea glass containing a coating layer of polyethylene, right? So that is how we are selecting. For tea glass application we are selecting like that. And for fruit juice we are using Tetra Pak. And for the oil packaging we are using nylon, several layers of packaging material. Like that we will select the packaging, and based on the application property, content stability, reactivity, acceptability as per the consumer, and packaging process and regulatory quality issues. So any food packaging material, it should undergo the regulations. Otherwise you are having a Bisleri bottle. So Bisleri bottle should be tested from the recognized laboratory. It should undergo as per FDA regulations or Bureau of Indian Regulation. Then only they will use for food packaging application. So The packaging material characteristics should be like this. It should not be toxic. It should not react with the food. So we have several kind of food packaging material: primary packaging, secondary, and tertiary. So primary is nothing but we have chocolate wrap inside a packaging layer which is directly contact with the food is known as primary packaging material. Secondary packaging, many of this one in cartoon boxes and pallets, wooden pallets and all, we can take tertiary packaging. So we have various kind of packaging material available: plastics, metal cans, and aluminum foils, glass, and wooden pallets. So these are the plastic used for different kind of food application. For example, we are taking one example of oil packaging. How this oil packaging is designed. So oils are that we can tell like that. So we have some different type of packaging material. It is called modified atmospheric packaging material. So based on the food, we have to avoid the oxygen and carbon dioxide content inside the food. So that will be avoided by the modified atmospheric packaging. We have various kind of food packaging materials: active and intelligent packaging material. So intelligent packaging material will tell you how much this food is spoiled, how long you can use that food, okay, based on the color. So we have different kind of packaging material for preservation of milk packaging. We are even using vacuum packaging to avoid the oxygen present in the packaging. So most of the cases we are using plastic in this area, and global consumption of packaging is increasing. So we have several kind of paper. I am giving a full example of food packaging material: paperboard material for food packaging, and corrugated fiber board boxes, paper bags, wrapping application we are using, folding cartons from the food packaging, set up boxes for chocolate packaging and all, composite cans, and fiber drums and all we are using for food packaging application. So olden days we used to get the food packaging from cellophane, cellulose derivative. That was the first one. So after 1930 revolution, this polyethylene synthesis came after World War II. Also the demand for packaging increases. So as a result, we are using more synthetic polyethylene cover and all. So but olden days we used to use cellulose based one. So but we spoiled nature using plastic packaging. These are the cellulose based food packaging. And wood also we are using for several packaging application. Cork, which is a semi-permeable membrane material which will be used for this one. So this you should have very good idea how this food packaging material is labeled. So this name of the food which we are using, identification number, name and address of the suppliers, list of ingredients, date, which date they have prepared, nutritional information, carbohydrates, proteins, etc. Country of origin, warning advisory statements also will be there. For example, we have Maggi noodles. Maggi noodles should be made using like hot water like that. So any food packaging material, this will be labeled according to the regulatory labeling system. So we have our FSSA. As per FSSA, we can label name of the food, list of ingredients, nutritional information. All these things should be done, and also lot number. Today you are preparing 1000 kg of food, and that you have to give that batch number. So like that it will be there. This is all about that one. And if we look at the coconut oil, different oil we are using different packaging material. How we can pack them. So how they will do for the food application? This is like, it looks like generalized application, but how they design is, we have different oils, fatty as fatty nature, fatty chains in nature, with different fatty chains, mono and saturated fatty acids present in it. So composition of oil we will know according to the Indian standard, Bureau of Indian Standard, and standard requirement for the packaging material is like moisture, impurities, color, everything should be done, iodine value, all these things required. And any oil package, moisture should not enter inside, oil will and oxygen also should not be there, there should be a change in color. Okay, so based on that, all these parameter we will consider, and we will try to make a packaging material. As I told, we need to select the packaging material. So we are using cans here. So cans highly reactive with the food because they are metallic in nature. So to avoid that one, what they will do, epoxy lacquer coating they will give. So that type of cans we will use. So if we want oil packaging, we have to follow this specific standard even for business in future if you are looking for business. So glass bottle, even plastic container cans also we are using according to this specifications. Even we are using Tetra Pak also for oil packaging application. These are the oil packets. According to this standard, we are making this oil packaging. So we have different type of oil, different type of packaging material. So several layers of packaging materials are available to enhance the shelf life of food. So these are the list of food packaging material used for oil packaging application according to Bureau of Indian Standard. So any food that is packed will be followed by the regulatory body. Okay, different type of thickness also. So now we'll come into the major topic. We are telling that the plastics are more problematic. Okay, so and also we have seen that we cannot avoid the plastic also. So even if you are using paper also, paper should be coated with the plastic, and if we are throwing, that also create the environmental issues. So especially in the ocean, nearby ocean sea areas where we are throwing all the carry bags and all the glasses, everything we are throwing outside, plastic glasses, plastic containers, everything, right? So they all come under this category. 6 kind of plastics is used for food packaging and the majority other packaging applications also. So they recycle code. If you have PET bottle, you can see down there you can see the PET bottle, the having recycling code 1. Why we are using this one? Because of if you take that PET bottle, you can recycle it. Otherwise, there is a chance of identity polyethylene bottles also there, polypropylene bottles also there. So to identify it, we have used the recycling codes. So most of the food packaging, several layers of food packaging are coming in this way. One is metallized one, we are using oriented polypropylene. All the food packaging material will cover in this from these materials. And the waste generated from these plastics are very huge. Okay, so from each plastic we are generating 1000 tons of waste. So why we are using these plastics only for application? So because they have a lot of advantage. They are light in weight, you can easily carry out, you don't need to carry the bag you'll go and ask in the retail supermarket, you need a carry bag to carry your items. So they are very light in low dense material, easy to carry and easy to form any shape, and also they are very cheap. That's why we are looking for synthetic plastic packaging material. So we have several advantages of packaging material, but we have several disadvantages also. So almost all plastics, paints, rubber, adhesives are coming from petroleum sources. So if there is no petrol, we will not get all this material, right? So many thought like by 2050 there is a dwindling of petroleum resources. There won't be any gases. In such cases, we will not get all this material. Paints, rubbers, plastic, everything cannot be done if you don't have petroleum resource. So another disadvantage of this one is landfill. So we have seen in the lands during cultivation also, even in our this one also, gobar also, we are mixing some plastic, throwing like that, and that will go to the farming lands, right? So majority of the plastics they are making landfills. So incineration process they are using. So if they occupy land, we will not have any fertile land for the agriculture application. And at the same time, so there is a chance, because these plastics will not degrade for long time. Over a period of time, they will generate the carbon dioxide, methane gases, which is greenhouse gases. So that is also one thing. This, they doesn't know what they eat, so majority of lives also die. So on an average, one lakh 60,000 plastic bags used every second globally. 1,60,000 plastic bags. 20,000 plastic bottles are used every second globally. Reason is, if you can see this reason, we'll think about it. Have you seen anywhere PET bottle lying, or drinking water bottle we are having, no? Bisleri bottle we are throwing outside? Whether you can see anywhere in the campus or even outside? Can you see anywhere? Not, no, not much. But because most of those bottles are recycled again into the several applications, like they will make t-shirts from the bag, tiles, they will pave the roads using that bottles, okay? So they are recycled. 95% of bottles are recycled, whereas you are taking chocolate wrap, eating and throwing it out, right? So majority plastic material of they are multi-layer in nature, this flexible packaging. That's why that this one, this flexible packaging we can call carry bags and all, they are very flexible, easy to carry. Those flexible carry bags from chocolate wraps, biryani cover packaging, everything we are throwing out. So they cannot be easily recyclable. Only 6 to 10% they are recyclable. That's why you can see everywhere those kind of flexible packaging material. So now coming to the single-use plastics. So why we call as single-use plastic? So definition itself, single-use, one time we are using and throwing it out. So that is called single-use plastics. So why, according to UN definition, as we thought like 6 plastics we are using, no? Any plastic made out of this any packaging material made out of this one can be called as a single use plastic, because they will be made and used at one time and they are throwing it outside. So that is called single use plastics. So how this single use plastic are banned? Before going to ban, there was a kind of the quantitative analysis. So their high potential littering property and low utilization index, so availability of alternatives. Based on this, they have made in India globally majority cases they are banning single use plastics. So if you take the carry bags utilization index means you are using 32% utilization out of 100 packaging material, and their environment impact is 84. Okay, so non-woven carry bags 21% you are using, their environment impact is 87%. Straws and straws, for example, plastic straws you are using, their utilization factor is 16%, but their adverse effect to the environment is 87%. Okay, so even small cigarette wraps they are using biaxially oriented polypropylene plastic wrap, so that is also utilization is 22% and their impact on environment is 84%. This cutlery foams also plastic based are they are using this much percent, and their effect on to the environment is very high. That's why this type of single use plastic like earbuds from plastics, and earlier we used to eat the foam plates, gobi and pani puri we used to eat, right? Foam plate, now foam plates are banned because their utilization index is 23% and effect to the environment is 85%. Okay, so like this, the single use plastic they have divided, they have made the utilization index means how much we are utilizing per day and what are the adverse effect to the environment. Based on this they have banned the single use plastic. In India 2022 only single use plastics are banned. So other single use plastics are there but they are not banned even though they have adverse effect to the environment. So cigarette filters, because of health issue, if they ban cigarette filters, there is a chance of hazardous chemicals that spoil your health. That's why cigarette filters are not banned. So plastic bottles also not banned because they can be easily recycled, and multi-layered packaging material also not banned. And if we look at the items coming under single-use plastic, carry bags, straws, earbuds, wrapping films, disposable plastic cups and trays. So what will happen if we are using single-use plastic, throwing it outside? So there is a chance of formation of microplastic. So nowadays they are telling human body everywhere microplastics are present, including brain, liver, everywhere microplastics are there. So they are spoiled by the plastic material, single-use plastic mostly. So this is one disadvantage of microplastics. So based on this, several countries, even in India also, they have banned the single-use plastics. So what are the alternatives for single-use plastic? We are using single-use plastics, and if we can recycle them, nowadays reduce, reuse, recycle them. Sources we have to utilize properly, otherwise we cannot use. That's why FSSA made mandatory. You are using one plastic bottle and throwing it out, and the same plastic bottle you take it and again make plastic bottle 20% into the pure plastic, and you can use it for drinking water application. This regulation they have made. So due to the available resources, we are trying to utilize, reduce the waste. So recycling, 90% of PET bottles can be recycled, 95% of plastic bottles can be easily recycled, but whereas chocolate wraps, small carry bags and all, it is very difficult to recycle them. Only 6 to 10% we can recycle. So then some people they are doing petrol from the plastic waste. Also they are making bricks from the plastic waste. They are making the roof items with the plastic waste. So but we spoil the nature by using a synthetic plastic material. So again, nature is only giving a solution of utilization of renewable resources from agriculture, food processing wastes. So recently, this fungus, they have found that uh, this fungus is eating the plastic from Amazon forest, they have found. Okay, so they thought like even polyurethane foams where we will use many foam applications, rigid foams we are using, even this fungus is withstanding on that one also. So if we use this fungus, even they can eat the plastic, so that the waste can be reduced. That is the major issue, and the byproduct from this one is water. So we have sustainable development goals. So this everyone should know, especially student. Sustainable development should be from various things. So for example, for water application, everything we should make a sustainable sources, 11 and 12 if you think. Okay, so alternative to sustainable single use plastics can be giving several advantages. So we will get from biopolymers, biodegradable. So once we are using, if you are throwing, they are biodegradable in nature. If we use biopolymer base, we can reduce the dependence on petroleum waste, petroleum based plastics, polyethylene PET bottles, and biopolymers are also less reduces the CO2 emission. So carbon footprint also reduces. As a result, the greenhouse gases will not be increased. And if we are using them from agriculture waste, so we can give incentive to the farmer, as well as these are underutilized and low cost material, we can get it. So we know that single use plastics are there, and we are using them based on the utilization factor and their environment effect. So we come to know that single use plastics are not degradable in nature, and we need to look for alternative material and biodegradable material. So what is biodegradable material? So we have plastic, throwing it outside, and there is a formation of small fragments or small particles, that is called degradation. So the degraded particles, if it is eaten by the microorganism like fungus, bacteria, if they are eating, then that is called biodegradation. For example, I will tell you one example. You have Bisleri bottle, you throw it outside, so that cannot be easily eaten by the fungus mechanism. Okay, we need a specific fungus like that I showed in this slide. So however, uh, that plastic will make into the small particle, that Bisleri bottle, so that will not degrade, it will degrade for long time. So as a result, we will be getting lot of environmental issues. So in such cases, that is called only degradation. So whereas biopolymer, we are making film from starch, corn starch, plastic film from corn starch. We are throwing it out, and even animals can eat them, right? So that is about the degradable material. They will, once they degrade, they will leave the CO2, H2O, and other mineral sources. So alternative to the single use plastic, we have various kind of single use plastic sources. They are renewable resource based. Renewable resource based, nothing but we are getting from plant resources and animal waste and all. Microorganism based, petrochemical based also is there, but they are biodegradable in nature, and petrochemical based and bio based together, but they are not biodegradable in nature. So anyhow, now the demand for biodegradable plastic material increasing. So cellulose based material also, we can, paper and paper based, we are using more of biodegradable materials. So what this biodegradable material means, we have plant, and we are getting starch, other things, and we are making material resin, plastic resin, and we are making packaging material, and we are throwing it out. Once we throw it out, it will become compost. That compost again, it will be a source for the plant. This is the life cycle of single-use plastic alternative biodegradable material. So in India also and many places they are using one important plastic called polylactic acid. This is wraps and containers. They are made up of biodegradable material. The polyhydroxyalkanoids, they are also important class of biodegradable plastics available. So we can make this kind of material from bioplastic. These are degradable in nature, but they are very expensive. Still, research is going on to use them. So now Tirupati Laddu and you are getting that carry bags, no? So they are made up of using this synthetic plastic only, but they are biodegradable in nature. So this kind of you can see anywhere in the supermarket. I am not plastic. That is made up of this plastic. Okay. So India is possessing lot of agriculture waste. So like this industry is growing like anything in India. So majority of entrepreneurs they are looking for this waste. So India possesses lot of agriculture waste fibers from seed fiber, bast leaf fibers like coir leaf, coconut leaves, coconut fibers, even sisal fiber in our area is famous, uh, and many other wood sources. Okay, so these agriculture waste they are turning into the biodegradable alternative for single-use plastics. Okay, so they're taking this kind of biopolymers to make single-use alternative plastics like this. So not only the single-use plastics, so to develop food packaging material to increase the shelf life, other food waste also we are using. So for example, onion peel waste we are using. We have made a smart packaging material as well as that colorant also. And even to protect from the insects, natural based food packaging material also we are using. So these oils will kill that insects present in the which is spoiling the grains and powders. So in market nowadays available of molded fiber articles, these are the single use alternative plastics where we are using for egg trays and all. They are made up of molded articles. So biodegradable bottles also there. We are also trying to develop these things with a very good shelf life. So we have made recently biodegradable plastic bottles also. Still we are trying to make use for milk packaging application. So what will happen, you have bottle and after 180 days, within 180 days this bottle will be degraded according to the standard. So this kind of application also we are using as an alternative for single use plastic. So most of the agriculture mulching films and also we are using these degraded plastics. And besides this one we have nanocellulose for single use plastic alternative packaging materials. I'd like to speak. So there this biopolymer based are used for several kind of applications. Even starch based nanoparticle also we are using to enhance the shelf life of foods, to increase the barrier properties of plastic packaging material. And even chitin and chitosan we are using to develop the nanoparticle. And this is from raw source from shrimp cells, that is the waste material. So from that we can use different kind of application. But if we want to use biodegradable plastic material alternative to single-use plastics, so their properties are very less in compared to synthetic plastics. So that's why still research is going on to enhance the properties of thermal properties, mechanical properties, as well as the coming to the alternative single-use plastics. So we have problems with single-use plastic. We use them and throw them. It will be spoiling into environment. So that's why we should not make difference to the environment. So not only India, if you look at the developed nations, they are using high quantity than ours, even 5 times than them. They are using plastic, but they will not the recurring of plastic waste. So this is not because of the plastic, this is because of the mindset of the people. So how many of us we are eating chocolate and we are putting only plastic recycling plastic, right? We are not doing that. So that is a major issue. Then another thing, for example, segregation of waste. So we'll get trash bags, we'll put food, we'll put electronic items to throw it out, everything we'll put in that one only. So we don't have any awareness that this is whether it is biodegradable or if it is contaminated, it cannot be recycled again. So if it is going outside, it cannot be recycle easily, so especially flexible carriers and all. So in such cases, we have to make the segregation of plastic waste in a different manner. So of course we have recycle board. I told you we can identify the plastic using recycle board, but multi-layer like chocolate wrapping, biscuit wrapping, they cannot be made as a recycling board. Okay, so the disposable mechanism is the major issue for the plastic material, not only because of plastic material creating pollution. So it is the human being, we are only creating plastic pollution. So if not plastic, what are the other alternatives? Glass if you take, so glass is very difficult to make, even 1000 degrees you have to make. And the ceramic material, bowls, they are made, ceramic jars, they are also very expensive. We have to process at 2000 degrees, 1500 degrees. And these metals, metals cannot be again we have used thermoset plastics to coat it for packaging companies. In comparison, their application, so the plastics can be easily made even at 200 degrees. 200 degrees also we can process. But the only thing is we are unable to dispose them in a nice manner. So the food waste we are taking into the plastic and we are throwing it outside. So that cannot be easily recycled. So developing countries, they are following strict regulations. If you put everything together, they will not take your trash. That is their responsibility. So that is why the single-use plastic alternatives we have, but that does not have a lot of problems. So what are the problems we can see? They are like we need biodegradable cover, okay, and throw it outside. They are like they are not degraded. They did not degrade in particles. They are still lying. Here a lot of issues are there. Scientific issue to think about it. Anybody synthetic plastic around biodegradable will not degrade easily. And another thing, here some terms are there. So actually government should give awareness to the consumers that whether it is compostable, biodegradable material. So there are two types of material. One is compostable and biodegradable. So biodegradable nothing but you are just degrading sample, that means will be eaten by the microorganisms. Then second one is compostable. So this compostable material requires certain compost environmental conditions. Otherwise, if you throw like this, they will not degrade. So they have to have industrial composting mechanism. Then only they will degrade. That is why there is no awareness for the people. They will not plastic and degradable. Where the certificates is given in the supermarket. And we thought that it is biodegradable and we are throwing, but they are not degradable because of the nature of the materials. If you make starch, cellulose waste, sugarcane bagasse waste, you throw it, it will degrade, but the synthetic material is not degrade easily. Okay? So that is why the labeling system for every consumer is required. Whether it is biodegradable, whether it is compostable. These two we have to have an idea. So we talk like a real that getting different problems in the area, and we have alternatives biodegradable materials, but we have to know whether it is compostable or biodegradable materials. So according to that, based on the single plastic alternative, in several countries they have different certification mechanisms. This also should be explained in details to every consumer. Based on this one, whether it is okay compost, whether it is degradable, whether it is biodegradable, compostable, or something. Okay. So several other biodegradable models, and maybe for example, what will happen after biodegradation? So this compost can be done. You are having this one as and degrade, and it will become the plant source for that. Okay. So sustainable polymers.
the single-use plastic alternatives from agriculture, plastic industry, and sustainable alternatives. So these are the companies globally they are producing biodegradable waste packaging material. Several other companies they are producing biodegradable bags, cups, spoons, containers, as well as bottles and many other. In India, also many companies they are producing this biodegradable material from these companies. So according to our we have single-use plastic which are banned now, and we have alternative for that biodegradable compostable materials. And the only thing is, it is not only involved by the consumer, and the government also should have a proper plan. So, like for example, in October onwards, October 2nd onwards, maybe all municipalities they are banning the single-use plastics, right? So, it is very easy to tell I am going to ban the single-use plastic. Very difficult to make the regulations, make awareness of the consumer, and these things required. Otherwise, no. So we are banning plastics, and we don't know what are the alternatives. Whether these alternatives can be used for that application, and the consumer doesn't know. So there should be education for the translation. And not only that, we have regulations of different materials. Also, we want to make sustainable futuristic material. So, what we have to do is we have to get spray material from agricultural resources, and so we have to avoid the challenges like we have to break the regulations. So far, no regulations for biodegradable material. They must certify that this is the material is certified by the government. For a safety long-term application, we have to make it as you make the biodegradable material for long-term application. We cannot use it. Right? So, for example, we have bioplastic bottles for drinking water application. For 1 year shelf life, very difficult to use because drinking water should have same taste. So, if we want the synthetic plastic, we will use same taste after 1 year. But biodegradable material according to standard, so any material is degraded in 6 months. Okay, so within 1 month, what will happen? The material will start degraded, and that will react with the food. As per the definition we have, so the food should not react with the packaging material. That is the long-term application for biodegradable materials are many other applications. We go like spoons, cutlery, paper-based bag, carry bags, and we can easily make sustainable alternatives. But from the nature material, again we are using some chemicals. For example, sugar cane agriculture we are using chemicals, polymers and other things. So whether they are also harmful. That is why we should use everything natural material for manufacturing, green manufacturing. If we practice, then we can make sustainable food product material or sustainable alternative plastic material. So the future prospect of this sustainable packaging material, we have a lot of challenges. For example, we want to pack fruit juice, we want to pack alcohol-based packaging material in the plastic bottle. So from biodegradable, it will be possible because they cannot be used for long-term application, short-term applications. So if we take the renewable resource, from the resource, if we take plastic paints, rubber, automatic paints, everything from the renewable resource in future, then you can get a sustainable world which is having low toxicity. So it is let me that I am ready to discuss with you about any questions. You are free to ask any questions. It is generalized question. you have any doubts? And anybody can ask. Anything related to regulations, anything plastics, because I am remembering we are on this study. Anything related to food packaging, related to food packaging, generalized regulations. So you didn't get any questions where you are reading, where you are buying the packet, less packet, you are using less packet. So you are not getting any idea how this can be useful. All these things, you need to understand any questions? That means there are two things. Either you have to understand, so you have to understand completely or manage Actually, we are having resin that can be made by different bodies. Raw material cost 400 rupees. Whereas paint bodies, we are using raw material cost 70 rupees. So the biodegradable material cost is also very high. That is also going to be this. That is why, for example, the diamond carry that here is very so the raw material cost is 60 rupees. Then mixing with the agriculture waste starches that will come down to 100 rupees. Nearest to 5 that is the cost is very important. But many companies they are already making biodegradable. Nobody ready to buy. You have ice cream cups 1 rupee, 10 paise. You have ice cream cup of 2 rupees. So you go for 10 paise not even 2 rupees. So governments are also not ready to do anything. And even genuine manufacturers are also not ready. Genuine manufacturers are there. Municipality party they are genuinely written writing bioplastics, polylactic acid, PHAs, PPA, polymethyl lifetime means there are some hardware for 50 programs like that. Only one more program you can use. For example, same category for long term shelf life, so far the study here and we got a science no, yeah, after one month it's going to be very great. Long term storage, but it will short term like over this still research going on. That also depends upon, for example, most hydraulic material starts under the we avoid that and use for the raw applications. Bioplastic waste they are using, but they are not coming for the longer term. They are going to this. We can make that PhD student process. This will process you can take this one. I will ask you a question. Based on almost. And there is a mechanic. Is convenience there. But they are cheaper only. That is also that, like for example, potential physical applications that I use. The reason is potentially penetrative we are even doing for training application. We are even making visually we are making like some plastic bottles. Visually bottles there are many types of the plastic bottles. So we are doing the application recyclability are they are very cheap, but the problem is most of them are receiving from petrol. That's what we are. And the flexible only 5 to 6 hours there is no petrol. That is also one major. But recycled plastic again it is 20% we companies are like this is only pure plastic. Actually, we are we divide into 4 categories. We are delivering using the planning application everything. The idea there is to get longer shelf. We are tracking this plastic product. So there, because paper is cellulosic in nature, they are highly hydrophobic. They will observe the moisture, and sometimes they Okay, 2 3 days. So chapter is after completion. Biodegradable can happen, but most of the single-use plastics are having problems of the thrown away material. We are using one time eating, using spoons, everything. Recurring happening from them only and carry it. But longer shelf life means the plastic is the best material. But used for longer shelf life, after usage, do proper mechanism recycle it again in the form of dyes or any application or any other application. Still, because of past, biodegradable in an organic, organic means you are telling natural or so organic like organic is so natural meaning existed. For packaging of this are only natural material existed like soya other here is a village here in natural glass is made it is doesn't get even that is organic and any other natural nowadays we are in the and protein. These three are major are organic in nature because they are plant. So even you can see chicken feather waste, chicken feather waste, and even six cell waste. There are some legumes. There are but they use their coconut shell powder, kaya fiber, here having sulfur. Then organic. Segregate the plastic waste and will you decide not to throw anywhere the garbage carrying that biodegradable is okay because nowadays paper